Hey everyone, what's up? It's Fire Elemental here. I'm here to talk about the new Ironman Infinity Wars. This is everything you need to know before he comes out in-game for the majority of the players, aka his arena/crystals come out, and you have to deal with him on Alliance War defense. Now, a few of you may have already faced him, or gotten him yourself, and this is why I'm making the video, to help you understand everything about him. So, for those of you who don't know who I am, my name's Fire Elemental. I analyze these champs, and I try to help you guys out by telling you info about it. So make sure to check out other videos, like my Vulture video, Ghost Rider videos, stuff like that. I'll try to post content on the new champs whenever they come out. So without further ado, let's get to it. Alright, so as you see here, this is the 4-star Iron Man, Infinity War Iron Man ability. So it says once per fight, blah 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 blah, emergency protocol, under 15% or under health, he gains 1.0 stacks of molecular armor. Here's what you need to know about that. It lasts for 8 seconds and it's a passive armor up. So this means you can't easily nullify it, and the best way to get rid of it is by using Corvus's parry or using True Strike. And we'll get into True Strike/True Accuracy later on. So then, now the most important thing about Iron Man is his power gain. Now you're probably thinking it's the armor up and the auto block. Now, as I discussed earlier, his auto block is only his armor ups, are only for 8 seconds. So this means it's pretty easy to avoid him having 4 armor ups. Now, when he has a dupe of 99 or dupe 200 for the 5-star, he's going to gain 8 armor ups and 2 bars of power within those 8 seconds. Now, this is important to know because that means you avoid hitting him for 8 seconds. Now, the power up is where the main issue is. As long as he has 1 armor or more, he's going to gain power during that time. Alright, so getting into the next part, he has 3 different types of attacks. Blade arm attacks, hammer arm attacks, and point blank repulsor attacks. Repulsor attacks are the main things, and we're going to get into those later. So, on to the next thing. Alright, so now going into his passive thing. So, this actually does reduce his damage taken by a good amount. It increases by 2,229. This is just at a rank 1 4-star with a Sig 1. I'm not sure if the Sig improves because I only have a picture of the Sig 99. We'll get into that later. It's nice that the critical resistance, aka your crit chance, is lower the more armor ups he have. Now, getting into this though, it says each armor effect on Iron Man reduces the effectiveness of Power Drain, Power Steal, and Power Burn effects. Now, this is important because it does not say Power Lock. So this means that even though you will have a decreased amount of power drain on him, this is also important because if he uses a special and you're using the tech synergy with Captain America Infinity War, he's still going to retain 18% of his power for each armor up. So you have 5, and then suddenly he still has 90% of his power. So that's important to remember, especially since you'd need about a dupe 130, I believe, for a 5-star, and a dupe 70-ish for a 4-star. So then it says after achieving the 4 stacks, he has a 100% chance to auto-block the next attack, and this does consume an attack. Now, what I was getting into earlier is these passive armor ups only last for 8 seconds. So while it's true he can auto-block at any given point of the fight, as long as he has 4, you should be fine. Just pay attention to his armor ups and basically don't hit him while he has 3, and you should be fine. Now, getting into the power drain, that's another issue. But we'll save that for later, actually, because I have some clips given by my friend Stefanos and another friend who, unfortunately, I can't pronounce the name of. But we'll get into those clips later. So moving on. A big seller of Ironman Infinity War is the top line. It says, molecular armor provides full immunity to bleed and cold snap while active. Now, you have to keep in mind, he doesn't start with these armor up, so this makes it a little hard for him to go immune to it, so it's not that great. However, here's what I really like. It says that the repulsor attacks can't be evaded, and they deal energy damage instead of physical damage. Now, what I like about this is it helps, well, a lot of no's are physical resistance, not energy resistance. So that really helps, in my opinion. Alright, so moving on, it says that repulsor attacks can fuse the shock and incinerate into plasma. Now, this sounds easy, and it's really like Archangel, you think at first. But then we get into the fact that shock is delivered on the first special, incinerate is given on the second, and it can fuse by using the special attacks, and the third will give a 100% chance of plasma. This makes it ridiculously hard to fuse the plasma, as in you have to chain your second and first, or just use the third straight up and not get the extra damage from the crits and the assassin, and, well, assassin still kicks in, disregard that, but aka, it's not that great, so he's pretty much off the table as an attacker. Now, moving onwards, it says that when it may power drain, that is not true. He still generates power, and it does not power drain. So, Kabam has a bug in that. Hopefully they will fix it, and it will be brought to their attention later. But, we can go into that later. So, now moving on. Alright, so moving on to his heavy attacks. Honestly, his uppercut isn't that great. Now, the third part is interesting because it says it's unblockable. It's pretty easy to dodge, though, don't worry. But it will inflict heal block for 16 seconds if they're suffering from regen. Now, I'm assuming this doesn't work on Sabretooth because of the passive regen, but we can only hope, right? So, this might be nice, but honestly, the armor break isn't that impressive, so don't get your hopes up. So the first special also inflicts heal block as well, so that's another thing going for him. However, don't get too comfy, there are plenty other heal block champs. So now moving on to the second special, well, it also increases the shock duration. I should note that for the first special. So now moving on to the second special. Now the second special is pretty easy to evade. It's just swipe, wait, and then wait again, I believe. Same with the first special. They're pretty easy to evade. You can see later on when Iron Man uses them against Winter Soldier. Whoops. So it says that they will ignite the target, aka giving Incinerate. And what I do like though is that it can reduce their armor up. I mean, that's a little nice, because if you're facing Iceman for some reason, and you're using Iron Man, because I guess you can generate the armor ups and you become Cold Snap immune. Granted, just use Mephisto. I suppose he hits too weak anyway, so I wouldn't do that. And it has a chance to stun for each armor break currently inflicted. Now, moving on to his third special, and I promise you this won't be long, we're almost into the entertaining videos. So, as I was saying, going into the third special, it has a 100% chance to armor break on the opponent, removing one armor up, blah blah blah. 100% chance to plasma them, dealing 508 damage over 6 seconds. This can be refreshed with pulsar attacks, it should be noted. And the chance to inflict plasma decreases by 20% for each plasma effect already active. This is noted so you don't go spamming plasmas by refreshing it. Granted, it's not that easy to refresh, but it is possible, of course, as will be demonstrated later. So now in a few seconds, we're going to get into the video. And as you watch the video, pay close attention to the special attacks, the fact that you sometimes will get armor up when you're attacked. Now we have 2 right here, and as you can see, they're fading pretty quickly. Now you can imagine, though, when he's at 15% health and how constant he's going to be gaining this power. So far, 20 hits in, he still has armor ups. it took 24 hits for him to stop getting armor up. So that could be about... you guys actually check the timer on the video to compare it, but he pretty much would have constant power gain if he's at 15% less health. So on that note, he is nice, but I just feel that there's better attackers. Now, pretty soon we're about to see the second special, and it's going to fuse into plasma. Now, going back to earlier, I think it's like 23 seconds. So we went 23 seconds or so without, well, with constant power up. So here comes the second special. And as you can see, pretty easy to dodge. 1, 2, 1, 2. Now, here it's about to fuse into plasma by... that was a repulsor attack, the first medium, so that was nice. Unfortunately, we get hit here, but it's actually a great demonstration of not only the plasma refresh, but as... well, I don't get hit, but you guys know what I mean. Whatever. Sorry about that message, by the way. But it's a great demonstration of the auto block and how it will parry you if you get hit with 4 attacks. Now here we're just trying to get... well, they get hit, whatever. To show off the power up. Now, as you might have seen there, it was a bar of power gained within those few seconds. Now, here's a picture of a Dupe 99 Ironman. Now, this was really nice to see because it showed us exactly that it was 2 bars of power more. So, the first ability is 1.07 stacks of molecular armor and 3.63 power per second. Now, with the Dupe 99, let me pull up the picture real quick. Alright, here we go. Sorry about that. It is 8.01 stacks, so that's 8 more armor ups, well, 7 more armor ups than the Sig 1, and it has 6.6 power. So this is really nice because you know that he can get power really quickly if he's below 15%. However, you have to keep in mind that even though each one reduces the power decreased from power drain, steel, it does not decrease with power lock. So that's important to know because just bring Majik and he's pretty much done. I know that the third special and first special can't nullify his passive armor up. However, you need to keep in mind that he can still, well, be avoided. Just wait a few seconds and it's fine. So honestly, he's nice. The power gain is going to be great in hidden nodes. Maybe put the armor ups on buff duration. And now we're about to see the video of his power gain at Dupe 99. So as you see here, it's gaining pretty quickly. It's not too bad. I'm sure you could figure out how to bait it. Pretty good parry skills in this video, but alright. So now we're going into Supreme Gent's photo. And don't mind the Unstoppable, that's just one of the mastery things for when they evade. But as you see here, the plasma damage is 365. Now this is pretty good. This is a 5-star at rank 1 according to him. I didn't check, but I'm pretty sure that's accurate. But as you see, it's nice. It's good damage. Now you have to keep in mind that with one of these synergies we're going to get into later, it reduces the evade by 35%. That's pretty nice, but overall, the synergies aren't that great for this champ, unlike Captain America Infinity War. It is hard to compete with those, though. Alright, so now we're going to look at a picture of him stacking the plasma. This does about 800 per tick. This is nice, but as you can tell by the combo, it's highly illogical and is not going to really help. So this pretty much rules him out as an attacker. The main thing going for him is the power gain. As I mentioned earlier, I'm really looking forward to his arena grind, and I hope to have some good videos of him later to show for you guys. Captain America is pretty good. I take back the Synergy Father comment, and it really helps now that I get to see him in person on my friend. Well, my friend is sending me videos of his Captain America, so that's really nice. I saw a picture of a 98,000 damage against Juggernaut. It's nice that he cancels Unstoppable, but we can get into that another time. Let's get back to the point of focus. So now let's move on to Ironman Synergies for this. Alright, so as you see here, molecular armor is 15% more effective in reducing power drain, steal, and burn effectiveness. Now, it's important to note that this is not 30% total, 15 plus 15. This is 15 of the 15, so 22.5% total. And vision also deals 20% more damage. Nice little note to those who bought 5-star OG Vision. I like the inclusion of Captain America Infinity War and now Iron Man Infinity War with OG Vision. So anyway, so Iron Man blocks 15% more damage. This has me a little worried that this usually means that his blocking rating isn't the best, but possibly it's just because Captain America is known for his block. So hopefully that'll spread onto that. And of course, weakness, fatigue, bleed, and petrified debuffs last 15% longer. That's a little nod towards Captain America Infinity War because he can place petrified debuffs. So now moving on into the... I quite forget what it's called, but basically, enemies are 35% less to evade. This is nice because if you're facing Spider-Man or Nightcrawler or whatnot, honestly, it's not that great. I'm not gonna lie. It doesn't really have that big of use. There are so many champs that affect evade already. Iceman, Black Widow. Honestly, I'm too lazy to come up with more examples, but you guys all know the evade reducers anyway. So then Wakanda Insight, each active armor effect also increases critical resistance by 12%. So that's nice as well, I suppose, if AW Synergies actually worked on defense. So considering they don't, this is actually kind of useless. However, I mean, if you're going to be hit in a fight with Iron Man Infinity War, I guess you want this. Yikes. So far, not looking good for his Synergies. Like I said, they can't compete with Captain America. They can at least try not to be abysmal. But hopefully the next set isn't completely useless. Nah, I'm just kidding. Of course they're useless. All teammates recover from armor break up to 10% faster, and all teammates recover from armor break up to 10% faster. That is not a glitch, it's just that useless. Yay. Alright, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Before we sign off, let's review what we went over. Iron Man is going to be overrated. Hopefully, people realize this, so his arena is not crazy. I'm sure it'll still have like a 60 million cutoff. Sheesh. Overall, his best feature is his power gain because it's almost a constant power gain if he's below 15% health. Ideal nodes would be buff duration, if, of course, buff duration does affect passive armor up / passive buffs. I'm unclear if it does because I haven't ran into one that does have passive buffs because I haven't faced a Killmon or anything there. Another good node for him would be power gain because as long as they don't bring Magique, I guess, power burn wouldn't be too effective. Honestly, I think the best chance would not be putting him on a stun immune node or anything silly like that. Just put him out where people don't expect it and won't bring a Magique for him. Otherwise, it won't be too bad. But I hope you guys like this review, and I hope you guys get good pulls coming up from his crystals. And special shout out to all the other arena grinders who are watching these videos, and so they understand what they are spending their 3 to 6 days for. So good luck to you guys. Here's a guide I actually wrote for you guys, and I hope it's coming up clear on the video. But so, for those of you who have been doing Featured Arena, you may have noticed a huge increase of death matches, and it's no longer safe to use 4 stars rank 3, at least 3 of them. So, while I was doing this, I had 13 death matches in one day, and this was while I was grinding for Iron Man Infinity Wars, so featured 5 stars, so this was really annoying for me. I kept losing my streak over and over again. I mean, I won most of them. However, everyone knows that you lose a lot of time redoing the streak. So I decided to test out having one rank 5 and two rank 3 4-stars out, and it actually works pretty well. The PI stays above 12,000, where the death matches can occur from 8,000 to 12,000. I've actually had it happen exactly on 12,000, and I pretty much lost my mind. It was really not fun. Super annoying. Now, I'm unclear if you can use two rank 4 4-stars and one rank 3 4-star to keep this up, but I'm assuming you can. Now, keep in mind these, of course, can translate into the 5 stars, so one rank 3 5-star and two rank 1 5-stars, or two rank 2 5-stars and one rank 1 5-star. So I really hope this goes well. If you guys stuck around this long, let me know in the comments below and I'll pin your comment. Or the first one too. I'll like the rest of them. So with that, this is Fire Elemental signing out, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side.